You have to answer quickly, you can think about it. How are you really as we come in? Grateful, excited.
Relearning.
Relearning. Happy. That's nice, yeah. I'm also excited. So let's see, did you think about anything that we discussed in the coaching overnight or this morning? Is there anything that's cracking your head about it, or?
Yes, I did.
Sorry?
I thought about it in the morning. So I linked the stages of the organization stages. I linked the transformation piece with what we are doing in terms of recruiting, doing the placement, and I just thought, wow, that's probably is us. Of course, the performance is also there, but for the sake of this one, I see the transformation really. The transformation really resonates with what you were discussing yesterday.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so it's all kind of linking up. Anyone else? No? You just want to get on with it. So this conversation is a conversation, and as I said, I come to you with an offer of what it is you want to work on, how you currently are in that topic, and then what we're trying to move towards through the coaching. And it's an offer, so we then discuss it. Is it working for you, not working? But I'll be sharing quite a lot, and then you'll be giving me comments and thoughts, and by the end we'll have a self-observation exercise for you to do. I want us to try and manage this within an hour and a half. That's normally how long I do these conversations in coaching. We've been given 2 hours, but personally I'm feeling the program is very packed. So I think if we can do it in an hour and a half, then at least you have half an hour, to just honestly do nothing if you need to do nothing, or even go outside. I don't know if you've been out of the hotel.
That would be a great opportunity.
Yeah, we need to. Even just walking down the road and back will just get a little bit of sun on you, and so let's try and. So I think the next session back in the room is what, 3? Yeah, please look, I've left mine. Is it 3:50 or 3:54?
It's 5. What is Tuesday?
Yes, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So next is tea break, 3:45 to 4:15.
Okay, so if we try and finish at 3:15, then you'll have a little bit more time. Yes. Yeah, so let's see. It normally is very easy to do within an hour and a half. So is it okay if I start? And I know you probably prefer to speak Swahili, sio? But my Swahili is just not.
We are comfortable.
Okay.
It's Martha when she's tired, she prefers speaking Swahili.
When you what?
When I'm tired.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I can also speak it, as you know, but sometimes this language is a bit technical, isn't it? So, this is a potential topic for you, a coaching topic. So, in one sentence, based on what we discussed yesterday, was to prepare for the change of integrating a number of new staff into the organization as a strong and healthy leadership team. Yeah. To prepare for the change of integrating a number of new staff into the organization has a strong and healthy leadership team. So just to say as well, I'll share these documents with you, so you don't have to write absolutely everything, but it's good for you to have the topic. So do you think that's what we want to work towards together? Based on what we discussed yesterday and maybe some of your reflections after? So it's kind of helping you to be strong and healthy and ready for the new people coming in.
Maybe if I can start.
Sure.
Basically, I remember yesterday we also touched on when we were having a discussion on things concerning strong and healthy, and I'm also going to see it in the future here. And in my own personal opinion, I can say with what we have shared yesterday, the topic will actually have a linkage with what we're trying to improve our organization.
Yeah, and a bit later on I'll share with you some development objectives, which gets us a bit more into the personal things that you want to develop as well. So it goes into a bit more detail, but hopefully contributing to the strong and healthy team. Anyone else got anything to say on the topic?
It is little and not really discussed. And the fact that you say that we share that we build on that, I think that
Does it feel exciting enough, or does it feel like what you want to do, or does it feel like, oh no, this is another thing we need to work on?
What for me, personally, again, I'm feeling excited with the topic. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to navigate through it, and I also like the fact that you say that you're going to some sort of development objectives that are really going to help us to delve more deep in addressing a lot of leadership issues, how to become strong and healthy management, how we can lead appropriately, authentically, and all those qualities that good leaders should have. Yeah, so personally, I'm so excited.
What about you, Helen?
I'm also excited because it will help me as well.
So we're just analyzing the sentence and looking at it as the two dynamics.
Yeah.
Number one is bringing new staff and put them in placement is one thing, and also now we'll be having another 5 years with projects that will also need a lot of ABCD to put things in place, and yes. And so when I look at these changes, I look into it into two dimensions. In terms of the new team, that we need to learn from each other and see, help them to integrity, to learn the process and the organizational culture and stuff like that. But also looking at the new programming that is coming. It's a 5 years project, it's a project, it's not a strategic plan. And of course it's coming to complement what is there already in the strategic plan.
Yeah.
But again, it's something that it's another change in terms of the programming, in terms of letting people know and understand what is it, both currency and the new ones, and so that we can all move forward. So I look at it as a mission, and I'm curious and eager to know the content within this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me take you through. First of all, just to remind ourselves why this topic is important to you, and this is just sharing back some of what you said yesterday. So, as an organisation, you've come out of a very difficult time. In your team of 11, you have 6 full-time staff and 5 volunteers and interns. You've been very focused on fundraising, and the team, all of you in the team have been working very hard. You're on the brink of securing some significant long-term funding, and that will give you stability and allow you to recruit new staff. So you also talked about not being able to reflect as much as you wanted to, and maybe that's because of the urgency of the job at hand. You were trying to, secure the future of the network. You want to reflect more. You want to learn from the work so that you can continuously improve. Your team currently has 3 Enneagram 3s and 1 Type 1. You individually talked about challenges in delegating because of not being able to trust others to deliver, concerns about poor work-life balance because of the demands of the work, and wanting to be able to communicate better with all stakeholders. So those were the kind of things that I picked up that, came from yesterday. So is there anything else you want to add, or anything you think?
Yeah, that one I completely agree. That's what I remember we discussed yesterday.
Yeah.
Again, I'm talking about the African culture, being in such a network, and we face some kind of patriarchy system and structure that kind of trying to resist the female leadership. And initially when it started, now they'll see the results. They will see that it's not about being a female or male that will deliver the results. But again, I'm saying it's something that I would say Nasra and I have been going through, the patriarchy system and structure.
Yeah.
Sometimes people face me and say, Nasra is young. I was like, oh, you need to change your mind, because the way I look at things, there are other countries with a minister who is 28 years and Nasra is above that.
Yeah.
So it's not about her age, it's about the skills, the experience and technicality that she brings into the network, and not her age. I've been facing a lot of that as being a leader. It's like initially I did not tell her, it's only this year that I decided to open up. It's like I've been facing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I want you to understand, because I've gone through this journey trying to make people of different levels, from the higher governance to normal member, to understand that it's not about the age, it's about the skills, the experience that an individual bring up. But also I was also telling them to change their perception, because they see things.
Yeah.
It's more of a traditional way and kind of a patriarchy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same thing for me. It's like, so we went through such kind of a time as female leaders, and initially most of the things, because Nasra was taking her through some of the process, I decided to carry the load on myself. Then later I decided to unfold by portion some of the things, so that she knows and how to mitigate them when she comes across them. But I think one of the things, I think for female leadership that we need to be aware of is how to deal with the patriarchy system. Knows that it's there, it exists, and how to come out of it. How to navigate with the complexity, cultural dynamics that comes with a strong patriarchy system.
So what do you, you've explained a bit of what you currently do around having conversations with them, supporting your staff as well. But what do you see you need to do, going forward?
One of the things that we've also been doing is also training them on gender responsive issues. When you train them on gender, with time they start understanding things in a different dimension. But also you expose them into different seminars, workshops that are available. TELMEC members are invited, board members. We channel them there purposely so that, culture is society is as old as the culture itself is. So it does not take just a single day to transform an individual perception on what they believe. So this is a process. But while we are going through this process, we have to be well equipped with skills and techniques on how to navigate around those issues. So that we make sure that our feelings, our emotions are not distracted by people's perceptions.
So I think, that's what I was thinking of as well, that it's just an ongoing thing. And like you said, it's an ongoing thing with your stakeholders, with the culture around you, and then also within the team. And maybe part of it is, how do you support each other? And Peter is really key in this as well. Like, being able to say, I've experienced this thing in this forum, and it's really knocking my confidence, or so to be able to be vulnerable with each other, because I'm sure you've heard a lot of really harsh things about your leadership, about other women in leadership positions. So how do you support each other? And maybe we might need to do something or just have a small discussion about that at some stage. Like, how do you create, because I'm sure your new staff, you'll have women coming in as well. I'm sure you'll have a mix. So how do you make sure that everyone in the team, man or woman, you're singing the same song about people having the right skills, that kind of thing, that, that gender, and understanding the structural constraints that women, you have to work within, and deciding where your battles are. Great, that's a really good addition that I think we can also put some focus on. So now I want to share with you what we call an offer of a current way. So a current way of how you are as a team in this topic of being, becoming a more strong and healthy leadership team. So let me share a bit, and then you can give me some feedback. So the current way of this team, we use a metaphor. So I'm calling you your way, the current way of the high-achieving firefighters. And the way that the high-achieving firefighters are in the world, they say to themselves, as long as we do all we can, working day and night to turn the ship around and build a new 10 Met out of the ashes of the old 10 Met, then people will see that we are an awesome and competent team dedicated to quality inclusive education in Tanzania, and they won't see that we are overworked and tired and struggling with some parts of our jobs. So the way that the high-achieving firefighters go in the world, they act in a way, we'll get there, we work hard, we're committed to the organization's vision, we all do the jobs we need to do, we love our work, we solve problems, we have big goals, we don't stop, there's too much to do, too much to achieve. So these members of the team of the high-achieving firefighters, if they were going to ask themselves at the end of the day, did we have a good day? They might ask questions like, did we succeed? Did we address the crisis? Are we on the right track? Are our goals big enough? And what next? Always looking ahead. So I wonder how that sounds to you. Does it sound like you? Does it sound like how you are as a team? What is there? Are there things there that really resonate?
When you were talking about it, I was taking a deep breath. I was listening to it. And I think from my understanding and my own point of view, looking at it like it's so me, it also it's so us. Because yesterday Martha shared a context of how the organization were so few, we're receiving little from what we're supposed to receive. But you know that the courage and the support system of saying that yes, we can do this, the network is going to come back, you're going to employ other new staff, you're going to, and like some sort of you're continuing to do it, you're expecting that funding to come, to have more people to, because most of our intervention and strategic plan are not fully realized funding, so you're expecting for them to get this funding. Most of the areas that I'm covering on strategic plan. So it's more of, coming from the ashes and saying that, yeah, we're going to build back. Yeah. So.
What about the others?
Well, that's the reality of how the organization and the team around is. Rome itainuka tena.
Rome.
The Roman Empire will rise again. So tend to rise again. I remember when we started, the team that I was working with, they were saying, even those giants were here, they did not manage the fundraising. I told them, I see money coming. I was imposing the power of positive thinking.
Yeah.
So I see it a very robust network rising again.
Yeah.
And it's going higher, more than the way it was in the initial stages. And it's been led by very young management.
Yeah.
As the norm was, all the managers have to be a big, giant guy with a big tummy. With a very big suit. Now comes a very slim and tiny girl with jeans and those things are happening. So, like an old guy with grey hairs with the finance manager, head of program when he comes up. The rest of the staff look where their tasks are, they completed or not. So it's completed a very big turnover. The organization used to have such kind of people.
Yeah.
So even the members outside were
Were
like, these youngsters going to manage this thing. Well, now they are seeing things are happening and much better than the previous ones. And these guys can do things. The trust is coming back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So the high achieving firefighters feels apt for you. Helen?
Okay, so I love the metaphor you have used, the firefighters. So for me, I see despite the fact that the situation was a bit complex, but then the team is working so hard to bring things together. So this is a firefighter making sure that they are rescuing human being and materials.
Yeah.
There is fire, but you're fighting within the fire to get things done.
Yeah. And this team as well, I think you're also a bit beyond the firefighters, because you're like, we'll fight the fire and we'll rebuild. So, but we'll talk about that a bit more as well. But I think that's the way you've had to be, and you've shown people that there's a lot you can do with that way. So let's celebrate the high achieving firefighters, because they've served you very well. So I want to share what that allows for, so what it gives you as a team, but it also closes down some things as well. So the way of the high achieving firefighters allows for getting the work done, getting new partnerships in place, exciting work, a determination to succeed and never give up, knowledge and knowing about what needs to be done, and a way of building trust with external stakeholders. So those are all the things you gain from being in that way of the high achieving firefighters. But it also closes down some things for you, and it closes down any time for reflection and for learning. It closes down being able to build the skills of the staff that, skills that you might not have, or you say you might not have, like delegation, communication, balancing your life. It's difficult to slow down and see the bigger picture when you're firefighting. It's difficult to be asking questions and listening to others. And it closes down appreciating different approaches in how to get the work done. Does that sound like you guys? I'll share this with you too as well, so I can see you scribbling away.
I'm writing as I'm writing.
Thinking, yeah.
Can you go to the close? Can you please repeat the close now?
The closing down, time for reflection and learning. Closes down building up the skills that your staff say they might not have. Closes down, slowing down to see the bigger picture. Closes down, asking questions, listening to others. And appreciating different ways to get the work done.
Well,
Do you recognize that as being how you are?
Yeah, but on reflection is less or limited time for it. It's like the reflection are there, but they're not enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we'll work on that. So, is there anything anyone else wants to say about this current way? Does it feel like who you are? Is there something you want to add or take from it? Or shall we head towards the new way, which we'll be building together on top of the current way? We don't throw away the current way, because you look at all these things that it allows for. The current way has served you really well, but there are some things we need to change. I'm worried people are looking sleepy post-lunch. If you feel like you're feeling a bit sleepy, just stand up.
sure.
Or move. Please feel free to move. I'm doing a lot of talking, so I'm not going to fall asleep, but I can understand how it might be for others. So just feel free to move if you need to. And if you want me to just move on, but I feel like people are reflecting.
Good.
Good to go? Good to keep going?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about a new way. Reminding ourselves again on your topic. So you're preparing this strong and healthy leadership team so that you can integrate, the new staff in, the next few months. So a new way that I'm offering to you is the way of the trusting boat crew. That's clear. Like, the crew who work on a boat, let's say like a sailing boat, a dhow or something like that. So the way of the trusting boat crew see the world is, as long as we have all the skills and talent that we need in the boat crew. So like the captain, the navigator, the deckhands, the chef, whoever else, and we trust each other to get our jobs done. And we develop great teamwork so that we can manage in rough seas, then we will thrive and grow as TenMet. So the way that they go in the way of the trusting boat crew, we each have the skills needed to play our roles. We prepare for the journey, we're strong, we're healthy, we're rested. We support and trust each other based on being open and clear with each other. We communicate clearly so we all know what is expected. We listen to each other. We know when to rest and reflect when the seas are calm, and we know how to come together when the seas get rough. So if they were going to ask themselves, did we have a good day? They might say, did we work well together with everyone playing their roles? Did we communicate and listen so that we were clear on where we were going and what we will need to do to get there? Did we rest under the moonlight and share stories so we get to know each other better? Did we trust each other? And did we enjoy the journey rather than whether we arrived or not? So that's a possible new way. I think I might stand up too. What say you guys?
Trusting about group. When I was following up with what you were saying, like reading the trusting what true, I also wanted to add a particular point of empowerment.
Yes.
Having seen if that one has been mentioned.
Tell me how you would say it. You empower each other? Or?
Yes, empowering each other because, like, we can do it. You don't know the way to do it. I can empower you to know how to do it so that you can build the trust and keep the boat, like, cruising, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so into that context.
Great, yeah. So you empower each other in terms of you said it so nicely, like you empower, your colleagues. It's not, you're not having to look outside to get someone to empower them, it's you doing it yourselves.
Yes,
Yeah.
because that also goes back to our current stage.
Yeah.
Where when we were talking about the high achieving firefighters, and we had a point of saying that again, like, ensuring that the skill set within the staff that are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that also, like, with the new thinking, like getting to ensure that, because in a team, we differ in terms of skills and expertise.
Yeah.
Somebody can be so good in this area, and another one can be so good in that area.
Yeah.
So that we can come up together and share.
Yeah.
Like, we can exchange. Like, we're not really good in monitoring and evaluation. I'm good in monitoring and evaluation. We can just get to, so empowering one another.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you can build that spirit of teamwork and
Great,
achieve
yeah.
together and celebrate together.
Yeah. Yeah, and celebrate together is a good one. Great. What are you hearing, Helen, or what are you thinking?
I just want to compliment what Nasra has said because they are technically competitive achiever and then they cannot trust either person
Yeah.
if they'll deliver equally. So it's her responsibility to make this person to reach her standard. So empowering one another, I think that's
Yeah.
and I think also we said yesterday that we to capacitate the skills of the new staff who are coming in. We
Yeah.
said yesterday.
Let's put that there as well. So to build the new crew members who come in. And I think just a note on the 3 and the 1s to the 3s in the room. If you can't trust a 1, you can't trust anyone.
The perfectionist.
Because they will deliver
Yeah, true.
every time. Peter?
Yes, I concur with what Nasa said when I look at ways of trusting the crew, and I'm seeing this point of to ensure that the team have the skill needed for the job.
Yeah.
To ensure that they are capacitated where the skills seem to have a gap,
Yeah.
and letting them speak of their gaps without fearing. I'm saying that I don't have this skill.
Yeah.
How the management see me? How giving them that opportunity. Come on, speak. What is not happening?
Yeah.
And how we can help you, or I think that one is very essential.
Yeah, and that's going to be really key when you bring in the new people, because they're not going to be perfect on arrival. So there's going to be a lot of, thinking, well, what skills are they bringing? What skills do they still need? And if you do that collaboratively with them, that's very empowering for them, for you to have discussions with them, like, okay, this is the job, what you're going to be doing, let's see where you might need some building. And you might have people within the organization who can help them build those skills, like you said, the empowering thing, or you might need to get some extra help.
I want to chip in there. I agree on first I was thinking between the word of building the skills or placements. We recruit and replace that. In placements, that's when we talk about helping them to understand the system, the structure that works within the organization. But these people come with their own expertise.
Yeah.
And we're not going to just bring fresh graduates. We will not do that mistake because we are overwhelmed with so many tasks. So the persons that we're going to bring them, I always tell them that I'm going to take advantage of USAID projects that have been shut down for most of the organizations. And we'll get a very qualified and experienced staff. The market is there.
Yeah.
The people are there. It was just on March some organizations have released them out.
Yeah.
So they won't be skilled and experienced, but in terms of them coping with the organizational structure, understanding the project that they're coming to work with, knowing the values, the repel value of tenements, the respect, the equality, those things, accountability, transparency, lifelong learning. Those are the things that are the ABCD about the organizational policies, the do's and don'ts. So I was just struggling within my head, is it placement or coaching and training them to, system.
Well, what are you doing? Like, Helen is your latest, newest staff member.
Yes.
How are you helping her to get on top of the structures, the values, the priorities, the policies?
We're orienting her slowly, but mostly she has been baptized by fire because she caught us in the middle of the proposal.
Right.
And some auditing as well as the annual reports, just the normal organizational compliance issues and fundraising. She caught us in that time. So I would say for my end, I've never had enough time with her. It's most of the time she sits and do things with Nasra. But technically I need also to sit with her because she's dealing with partnership. And it's an area that I work a lot with. I think at some point I needed to sit and take her through the process. But anyway, after this one, I think we'll have some time. We'll sit under the moonlight.
On your own down.
Well, at Katavi and enjoy some foods.
And how are you finding it being oriented into the organization?
I'm fine because I have Nasra, so if I'm stranded, she chip in. So I don't think if I'm having challenges in coping. So she'll tell me read that, read this, read the other thing, read this. It's too much reading. But I think I'll get there.
And maybe what you're going through could help design what you're going to share with the new staff who come in. I don't know whether you have an orientation manual or how you normally orient your staff.
Well, we don't have an orientation manual, but the new staff definitely supposed to be taken through different departments. And different departments will explain to that person what they do and the things that they relate with that person's role and how can they be supportive and work together to ensure that he or she is comfortable.
Yeah,
That is how we do the placement within the organization.
okay, yeah. But it might be good to have it written down in some way, so, because maybe it's not gonna just be one person who orients the new people, you'll all be probably orienting different people.
The new person will go through different departments, so in each department that person
Yeah,
will
okay,
be oriented.
yeah.
Peter haven't oriented really. It's never a forum, man.
Has Peter been oriented
Yes.
long time?
He has been there for a year.
Yeah.
A year plus.
But it takes, I don't know, doesn't it take about I would say 6 months to get to know an organisation, at least?
Well, yeah, it depends with the person's speed of learning, because individuals are different the way they develop interest on learning and
Yeah.
coping in an area. So some copy early, because when I joined the organization, I went somewhere with my boss. He forgot to introduce me, and we were in the annual general meeting. Then I asked him, why are you not introducing? He started and said, this person looks like he has been there forever. That's why, so it depends with the
Yeah.
person's speed of learning and ichanganya na watu, vitu kama hivi.
Sure, yeah, yeah. And Peter is a 3, so he probably learned quite quickly.
You will adapt.
By force, by fire.
I think that's what you said, yeah, baptism by fire. So that's the new way. I mean the old current way, do you want to invite them into your fire or invite them onto your boat?
No. I invite them into the boats.
Okay, so let's look at some of the things that the way of the trusting boat crew allows for, what it gives you. It gives you a strong team with diverse skills, experiences, and qualities. It also gives you honesty about the skills and qualities that are needed in the boat crew. You know, you can't hide on a boat. You need definite things, and it's really obvious. Trusting each other because we have to make the trip. A healthy team that is fit for the journey and looks after itself on the way. So we're not just fit at the beginning, we make sure we remain healthy as we keep moving along. If we're working in the way of the trusting boat crew. Is there anything else you think you need, or I think that's capturing it?
Yeah, well, one thing that I've learned as I'm working with a network, you know, there's a very big difference between working with a single organization and a network of 251 organizations, and each quarter the network members are being approved to join the network. So there's a lot of cultural dynamics. And to ensure that the boat is moving well and managing conflicts that emerge along the way instead of them escalating to the higher levels,
Yes.
two-way and immediately communications is very important in this space. Very important, because there's a lot of complexity
Yeah,
within this network.
yeah.
Yeah.
Two-way and immediate communication.
Yes.
And I'll say with network, is it mostly with network members?
Yeah, you know the thing about communication breakdown.
Yeah.
When Astra speaks something to Helen and then Helen speaks to you, then so there's a dropout. So
Yeah.
imagine for the 251 network members,
Yeah.
if wrong information is shared. I think out of the things that it's very keen to look at it and mitigate is that area
Yeah.
because of communication breakdown. And those members come with the different levels. There's international ones, those are highly exposed.
Yeah.
There's the ones who operate at the national level, good
Yeah.
understanding. The ones who operate at the regional level, district, and then
Yeah.
the very lower level or district level. So they vary in terms of understanding.
Yeah.
The ones from the rural area, the way things goes on, the way understanding things.
Yeah.
So again, to put them in the same understanding of the way issues and the manner they've been done, is an area that's need a lot of keenness because once you press the wrong button, it can turn the board upside down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's just something about cultural awareness as well. Or I mean, I've heard it described as cultural intelligence. So I'm just thinking, like, you know, how you communicate with an international level organization that's communicating on policy for the East Africa region or Africa or global. And then you have a small CBO in a rural area. The way you communicate with them, is going to be completely different, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Let's talk about it more, but my understanding the way the structure is organized, we have zones,
Okay.
8 operating zones.
Yeah.
And we do the international ones because they are available in all those regions. So we do conduct quarterly zonal meetings. And in the quarterly zonal meetings, that's in when we communicate issues.
Okay.
We can communicate issues through the zonal meetings.
Yeah.
We disseminate the information and we update them on the current information, but also through email communication. And
Yeah.
Nasra was informing me today that the new ESDP has been approved. It's already been approved. It's updated in the MOEST website. So we need to download it, put an email and share to all members.
Yeah.
So the way we break down this information, we use a simple language for all of them to understand.
Yeah, great.
Instead of clustering them according to their level, just a zonal level, we break down the information, we share with them. If they have questions, we respond, but we make sure that they go to different meetings. When 10 meetings are invited into different meetings, we also suggest members based on the thematic areas
Okay,
that they
yeah.
operate.
Yeah.
In that way, they get updated as time goes on also with the new things that are happening within the center.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, just for background, how did TenNet end up in the fire? I imagine it's quite a long story, but if you could tell me the shortened version.
Keywords. How?
Well, you from what I understand is, you're bringing it out of the ashes and, building it up again. So I'm wondering what happened that it went down.
Number one is funding.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the major.
They just didn't get enough funding.
Yeah, that's the major. There was a transition between the one strategic plan to the other strategic plan, and there was a very big risk of one major donor in the organization, that was SIDA Sweden.
Oh yeah, you said. Yeah.
Yes, so SIDA Sweden, they had also the process of developing the new strategic plan, of which it has already been finalized.
Okay.
So within that transition, SIDA stopped it for a while.
Okay.
And this is how the network went down, because SIDA was funding almost 80% of the organization,
Yeah.
which was a very big risk.
Yeah.
That is how the network went into fire.
Wow. And had it been funding 80%, how does SIDA agree to fund 80% really? It's kind of irresponsible funding. No?
I don't know how, but that's the way it was.
Yeah.
And the organization was happy because SIDA was a basket funder.
And they had a good relationship, I'm imagining.
Yeah, there were at least 2 national coordinators who have passed through SIDA funding.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years of those 2 national coordinators.
Yeah.
So those 10 years, SIDA has been funding the network with the basket funding.
And why did they stop funding them?
Number one, the war that was happening in the European countries, in one or the other, they have to support that
Yeah.
war, the Ukrainian war. But secondly, they were updating their focus.
Okay.
They were updating their focus. The other area, there was a time of the 5th regime in our country where there were donor partners were not feeling very comfortable in terms of the operating government. I remember the Danish empress declared that they are leaving, they're vacating the country. But after the change of the regimes, they decided to stay.
Okay.
So there were both political factors, internal and external factors that causes those things.
Yeah. And so, how, you know, the team that we have here was the kind of restarting or, you know, trying to save Temnet. I'm imagining that you, Nazra and Martha, you were part of the initial team.
Yeah, we were there, part of the initial team. So some left. Initially, how many were laid off? 8?
Yeah.
8 were laid off. Then later, 3.
Okay.
Then
Wow.
we've been there.
Yeah, so you've been through a lot.
We volunteered at some point to make
Really?
sure that things moved, yes.
Yeah. So how is this for you so far? You know, I've shared the topic, the current way, the new way. Does it feel like it's something that can guide us as we work together?
Yeah, I was thinking about when the boat went on fire, now we're bringing it back. If we can also come up with ways of making sure there's a component of sustainability as we move along,
Yeah.
so that whatever happens, we should embrace the lessons and execute them, not to go back where we came from.
Yeah.
I think that's an important piece that we need to work on.
Yeah. So that one, what I would suggest is, I don't know if you got the message well yesterday about the transformational plan, or organization transformational plan, because the coaching is very much about you four and how you work together and how you are as a team. But the sustainability it's a broader thing, isn't it? So I wonder if that comes in under your, transformational plan. I'm assuming you don't have like a full resource mobilization plan.
We do have.
Okay. I was thinking you were just focusing on the, trying to get the money in. And does it include things around, making sure your house is in order, not having more than 20% one donor, that kind of thing?
That's an area that's need to be updated.
Yeah.
That's an area that's need to be updated to avoid the risk that it just happens.
Yeah.
Because you are under the maximum, maybe 60%.
Should be 20.
20. Single donor.
Yeah.
It's been yeah, those who comes with their 5 years projects and the scope is big, they expect the budget to be big based on the scope.
Yes, but if you have this big budget, remember donors are like sheep. They'll see you've got good support, so it's your opportunity to get more. I mean, it depends if you need more, but because if you enjoy their support for 5 years at 60%, well and good, but what are you going to do when that one is over?
In between, we diversify source of funding.
Yeah, so in the next 5 years, if you say, year one, you want it to be, it's 60%, year two, maybe 40%, year three, 30%, year four, 20%, so that, and then year 5, it will be no percent. So that's, if that becomes part of your resource mobilization plan. So yeah, it's just about setting yourself some goals and then working towards them. But maybe in the first year you just also need to just relax a bit and enjoy what you've achieved, and be building up this new project, but in a way that builds you to be able to do the work. Because if you keep going at the pace you're going, you're going to fall down like flies.
Definitely, Sarah, we'll have a time for break.
Yeah, but remember your way. You're the firefighters. You're going to be so excited about this new thing. You'll be like, let's go! We need to recruit! We need to da-da-da! And you'll find yourself just back in that way. So let's get ourselves on the boat and relax a bit whilst we're still on the way.
Slow down, enjoy life.
Yeah. Life's not that serious.
Yeah.
I think the people, us in the NGO world, take life very seriously. Because we see very big problems that we want to address, of course, but we can still do that in a way that doesn't, kill us in the process. So shall I share with you the development objectives, the proposed development objectives, what we're going to work towards together? I've written 4. Let's see if you agree with these and whether they're really what you need and want. So the development objectives: to be able to integrate time and space for reflection and rest. Within 10 nets day-to-day working. So actually most of these they're very focused on you as the team and less focused on the new team that's coming in. But we might change them as we go along. It depends on how your recruitment goes. So to identify the leadership development needs of each team member and to work towards building them. So those include things like, you spoke about delegation, Nasra, and you spoke about communication, Helen. And something that is useful for all 3s is what you did this morning, the active listening. So, 3s really like to be getting on and doing stuff and making things happen. And sometimes just giving a bit more time to listening can really help. So the 3rd one is to be sure that each team member is healthy and able to play their roles at work. And at home without fear of burnout. And that, Peter, that was your thing. Are we together? So that was your thing about burnout and work-life balance. And then the 4th one is to consider together what skills and qualities are needed in the new staff to be recruited. So do these look like things we want to work towards together? And things we can achieve if we've got, we'll have 7 more coaching meetings. They'll be an hour long, the ones we do online. They're an hour and a half. They'll be an hour and a half, sorry. The ones we do online. So we'll meet once every 3 weeks, but in between, we together will co-create practices for you to do, you know, in your day-to-day work. And that's how you develop this new way, is by developing these skills or capabilities in these development objectives. So do they sound like what you want, Helen?
Yeah, but number 3, to ensure each team member is healthy,
Yeah.
well-being, healthy
Or what?
skills.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, it's such a good question, because what healthy means to me might be very different from what healthy means. So tell me, what's healthy to you?
Strategies.
So
You go with it.
it's
I
the
think, Helen.
it's the team members that we want to be healthy.
So can I chip in?
Nazri, you wanted to, or you've talked a lot actually. Yeah.
Yes, that's like, you can just proceed
Yeah.
and then I'll follow, it's fine.
No. So for me, when I look into a health team, first I look from the mental perspective, because we only deliver when our mind is calm.
Yeah.
And I know as part of human beings living in the world, we might encounter some challenges. But the component of mental health, I take it as a serious issue that needs to be addressed. You might find a person behaving awkwardly, but that person might be having some mental issues that need to be addressed.
Yeah.
Sometimes getting a space, talking the issues,
Yeah.
release, but also mental well-being sessions also
Yeah.
are some of the things that I think as a leader in the organization, I'll bring them on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, to both secretariat and members, but also looking into the health components. Again, I'm looking at the entire body healthy. You eat well, you do your tasks timely, you get some time to rest.
Yeah.
Life is not always rock and science. So sometimes we need to take a break, slow down, especially this is a big problem for type 3.
Very.
So in order for us to be healthy, we need to take a break sometime. There was a day Peter went to the hospital, I was watching him, and they said, this guy, he's not sick, he's tired. When he
So
was,
that's both of you.
yes, when he was done, it follows me. I was like, oh God. So I knew when he was going to the hospital, I was teasing him on some jokes, but I knew behind the scene that this guy's body is tired.
Yeah. And it's coming to you very
Yeah.
soon as well.
It's already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before I came here, I was at the hospital. In fact, it's like, I must go. I just came, but yeah, I know the secret behind it, but it was not that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I perceive a person being healthy. And then again, in health, I talk about healthy relationships.
Yeah.
That is a very important element to look upon.
Do you mean healthy relationships, home, work?
No, when I'm talking about work, now I'm focusing at work. At home, a person, if I know people are in different relationships, they have been attending different kind of trainings, but also at work, we also do get the parenting sessions.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we do through one of our partners. But now I'm talking about the work relationship. You know, delivering as an output. In the process, as you're delivering that output, what is your attitude to your colleague? How do you behave to each other?
Yeah.
Matters a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Sio mtu anadeliver akiwa amenuna, sio
Yeah.
amefanyaje. Even in the recruitment, that component I will
Yeah.
highly consider.
Yeah.
Because it really affects the morale on how the team operates.
Yeah.
The process on how the output is delivered, the attitude of an individual also affects. If a father comes to the house and is not happy, is distressed, and he's quiet, doesn't talk to anybody, the entire household atmosphere is distracted.
Suffers, yeah.
So it's the same thing. I'm going to look into the work relationship in that
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Okay, that's okay. Do you have something to add on the healthy? What's healthy to you?
Yeah, I think she has given, in totality,
Okay.
that, it's not all about output, but the process of that output?
Yeah.
How is the social relationship with another employee in the process of achieving that output? You know, the body well-being, the mentality part of it, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, great. Helen, do you have something to add on what healthy is?
No, I just want you to know if what I'm thinking is what also my colleague thinking, and this is what I was also thinking. But also I'm thinking healthy relationship not only among ourselves, but also where also you come from.
Yeah.
You're going to be distracted at home.
Yeah.
You come, others came with the vibe in the room, you come with the
Yeah.
vibe, and then you kill the vibe of everybody.
Yeah.
So being healthy at home and at work, I think it matters a lot.
Yeah, so kind of healthy heart, but not heart as in avoiding a heart attack, but heart as in you're feeling at ease in your relationships. And okay, so we have our topic, we have our current way and new way, we have our development objectives, and I'll share these with you. I'll send them by, I don't think I have your emails, but I'm sure I've given them. And I'll share that in an email so that you have that information. And then the one last thing I need to give you is a self-observation practice. So I don't want you jumping in the boat and getting into the new way yet, because we still need to spend a bit of time in getting to know the way of the high-achieving firefighters just a little bit better, just noticing when it shows up in your day-to-day life. Excellent. Okay, you'll have to tell me what, everyone else can give me their, you're all at tennet.or.tz?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just about, okay, tell me your different ones.
F-gun.
F?
F-gun.
We can just write for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been more easy, so that's good.
Yeah,
Maybe leave them on other cards if that one doesn't have enough space.
I think it'll,
3 emails. The other one, partnership, is a little bit more.
maybe just put your name first, Helen, and then whatever your thing is before. So I want to give you a self-observation practice. Who amongst you likes writing, journaling, writing things down? I can see you all writing notes. Does anyone really hate it?
I love it.
Reflection? Anyone like reflecting?
I do
You
not.
do? I do. Okay, because a really important part of the coaching is not only doing the self-observation or the practices, it's also to reflect on questions around it as well. So that when you come to our next coaching conversation, we start with your reflections, like, what did you learn about the way of the high achieving firefighters? And everyone will share their own experiences. So I'm going to read the observation practice to you now, but obviously I'll send it to you by email because it has some questions for you to consider and reflect on. So it's really about trying to see your way, your current way, every day. So just keep it in your head, the high achieving firefighters, here we are, and trying to see what kind of behavior you do. So I don't want you to change anything, but I want you to notice when you are firefighting. So maybe when you're firefighting as a team, or maybe when one of you might be firefighting. Just notice and write it down. So, I don't know, maybe you can say, we received a deadline, and we received a terms of reference for, a funding opportunity, and the deadline is in 2 days. So we start firefighting. Firefighting is like, working really hard, extra hours, that kind of thing. It could be that, or it could be dealing with a crisis or whatever, but just notice when it happens. And then also, the firefighters work very hard, as you well know, and they work beyond the call of duty, I mean, you've talked about it, you were volunteering, so I want you to also notice, when are you doing that? When are you going above and beyond? And then the questions here are, you know, just to note down, what's the situation? When does it happen? And why do you think you respond or behave the way you do? So it could be, oh, well, it's our organizational culture, or it could be, I just wanted to, you know, I felt motivated, or I feel I have to, or, you know, why do you behave in the way of the high achieving firefighter? And what do you feel? So what do you feel is quite a difficult question for 3s and 1s. They don't really like to go there. So when I ask you, what do you feel? Yeah, look at Peter's face. What? That could even just be a practice, you know, asking yourself, what do you feel? And a 3 will say, could say, I don't have time to feel, I've got things to do. You know, possibly, I'm not saying all of you like that. Or 1 would be like, I'm just trying to get this perfect. I don't know what to feel about it. So I'm asking you, what, you know, how do you feel when you're firefighting or you're, you know, working extra hard? It's just about building small skills that might help you. And you'll notice, you know, you might have people in your life who love talking about how they feel, or, you know, people you work with, and it's really useful to see how different people are. And then before we meet the next time, just to go through what you've reflected and written down, and summarize, like, what have I learned about the way of the high achieving firefighters? And, you know, you can have fun with each other with it, like, what? Oh, there we go, firefighting, or, you know, just to keep it there for your learning. So does that sound okay? Yes. So I'll send, as I say, I'll send these to you probably tomorrow. Now I have all your emails. And then is that okay?
It is.
Are we okay?
Yes, we are.
So the last thing I need to share with you is the dates and times of when we're going to do the online sessions. So I have them here. So today is the 29th of April, isn't it? Yeah. I think they're on Wednesdays. I hope Wednesdays are good days for you. Let me just. So session 3 is on Wednesday, May the 21st, 4 to 5:30. 4 to 5:30. Not a good time.
Is that again time?
East African time. Not good,
It's not good for me.
because, I mean, what
I have a class that runs from 5:30 to 20:30 in the evening.
on Wednesdays?
Every day from Monday to Friday.
Ooh. From now until,
End of June. So anyway, I'll try to be.
No, let's do this, because I had scheduled Amani for 2 to 3:30 and 10 met 4 to 5:30, so let's just swap them round.
Yes, that will
So
help.
if you could do 2 to 3:30, because I don't think we've told Amani yet.
Yeah, okay, that would be great.
Yeah. So 2 to 3:30
Yeah,
East African time. Then June the 4th is the next one. July the 2nd. July 23rd.
Sorry, June the 4th natural ile safari Ufaransa mbili.
There's an education trip that you are supposed to go.
June.
It's 8th, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so 4th is fine.
Okay, of June.
Yes.
The next one is July 2nd.
Yes.
July 23rd.
So it will be same time.
Same time every time, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Can I open my phone so that I can
Sure,
write
yeah.
down my
August
calendar?
13th is the next one.
August 13th.
September 3rd. And then the last one is October, but I think that is when I think it's here. I think October is the,
Celebration.
yeah. Is there a celebration in October? Do you know yet?
Confusing if it
Yes, but they said it's going to be October. Yeah, I read it somewhere.
Yes, it's, in fact, I think I even have it. So I think it will be here. I think I have those dates actually. So, yeah, it's 8th, 9th, 10th is what I have. Is that what you have?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
October.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we'll do it sometime within that meeting. If any of these dates don't work for you, just let me know. But the difficulty is that Joyce likes to be in on the conversations as well, and she's based in Washington. And yeah, so if we want to change it, we have to make sure that it also fits with her schedule as well. But maybe if you can all just check when you go back to your calendars and let me, I mean, things change as well. I think there was something in the agreement that you signed about how much notice you should give if you want to change the date. I can't remember what it was. Was it 48 hours? We could even be longer, I'm not sure.
But we'll try very hard.
But you know, things do come up, but equally, let's really try and stick with them.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we'll see. We can have some flexibility because maybe it's really good if everyone can be in the meeting every time. It might not always be possible, but as much as possible.
Yeah, we'll make sure that we try, because these dates just came ahead of other dates, so it's easy for us to plan other dates to make
Yeah.
sure that they don't overlap
Clash.
editions.
Yeah, okay. Okay, great. So do I have everybody's email here?
Yes.
Advocacy PO?
Here.
Oh, and definitely.
Then FGAM.
Yeah, and partnerships.
Yes.
Partnerships.
Partnership.
Without S.
No S, partnership. Okay,
Meant that these people need business heads.
yes. So shall we just close with, I'm going to allow you a sentence each rather than just a word. And then it would be really nice if you just, we have 45 minutes.
It's good for the walk. And
Yeah, exactly. So just a sentence each on how you are, even how you feel as we close. Or anything really.
For me, I feel like I'm in the learning curve, and I feel relaxed, honestly. When I do funny things during the dance, it's because I want to relax myself.
Yeah.
So in one of the way, based on the nature, the way I work, I feel like this workshop has given me one or the other space where, okay, Martha, slow down, come and relax a little bit and get some new stuff. This is how I feel.
Nice.
And it has given me time to relax. No one is telling me my homework.
I know, and you don't have to worry about the
Your
food
father is
or
taking care of them.
It's so nice.
Yeah, this is how I feel.
Yeah, great. Peter.
Well, getting these skills, they are preparing me, when like now you have one person that you're supervising, and and the team is growing,
Yeah.
getting to have the skills on how to interact, to communicate, to understand people's feelings and the like. It's enlightening.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's right.
So how I feel, it's being empowered. First to execute well my roles and responsibilities as a leader. So all the session with the coaching, with what being coached there inside, it's always that the change is started at the leader. Yeah, you as a person,
Yeah.
and you might change. And you as a leader, you are linked to those gaps that maybe people cannot see, but yeah, you are the center there. So for me, it's more of I'm taking it very positively. I'm so excited. I'm seeing it as a place that I'm going to grow. Yeah, being empowered and yeah, starting to execute well.
Nice. Great.
So I want you to pick me before next chapters. I want you to say also I feel empowered. So when you say empowered again, I'm like, so what I'm gonna talk. So for me, I feel more and more empowered because it's I got an opportunity to stay with the team and discuss. I knew better about Tenment more than I knew before. Yes.
Yeah.
But also learning from you, food for thought. I think I knew some stuff, but then I learned more. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm feeling really excited about working with this team. I love the way you already work, and I know that we're going to do so much together. And that you all just have this very open learning way of being. Like you're not closed, like there's nothing for me here. I really feel like you're ready and there's stuff you want to do. So yeah, I'm excited and thanks for putting the time into it. And go and enjoy the sunshine of Nairobi.
Thank you.
I don't know what time we're supposed to be back in, do you?
4.
Are you sure it's 5?
Is it okay for you or stuff's here?
3:45 for the show.
Is that after tea break or?
That's tea break.
3:45 is tea break.
Yes.
So 4:15 is the time
Yes.
to be back in the room.
Yes.
Wow, great.